Hello. Hey, friends. Thank you all for joining me here today. Just got back from Seattle. Holy cow. Very powerful week. Um, as I've shared, I was with 12 other fellows for this, what's called a Civic Saturday fellowship. So it's a 6-month fellowship that just started last week, and we were in Seattle for like 4 days. Um, Fellows were awesome, like so diverse, so heart centered. From all over the country, like folks from Louisiana, um, Washington, Kansas, another Bay Area person. Um, I mean, yeah, and everyone was there for the same reason, like they're to to do what they knew to do to try to save this country. Um, So it was cool. It was like a big. Everyone had drunk the Kool Aid on America's great and sacred purpose, and we got to learn from an amazing staff. Um, Staff sounds a little too it diminishes it somewhat, but an amazing team of people, including Eric Liu, the founder of Citizen University, or one of the co-founders. And we basically got to immerse ourselves in what it actually takes to minister the soul of our nation. Um, Both from the like logistical perspective of how do you actually deliver a faith gathering around our civic virtues, our democratic principles, and that was super fun. I need to reveal all my notes, but yeah, there's something to a faith gathering. I think it's easy for a lot of folks, especially here on the West Coast or recovering Christians, Catholics, to kind of write off the whole endeavor. But there's something happens when the music and the sermon and the conversations and the poetry and the setting all are done well, meaning they create this transformative experience. And I freaking loved it as somebody who is like, who craves spiritual, transformative um, type experiences. So what I want to share with you is something that we have been working on. So each of the fellows, my fellow fellows, um, yesterday we delivered our like the first draft of our civic sermons that we're going to be doing at these Civic Saturdays. And so these are designed to provide some moral reflection, allow us to consider who we are in the face of something, right? Whether it's what's going on in the nation, our communities, etc. Uh, so, again, I've shared some of this with y'all, but what I'm envisioning for my sermon is actually, I should say, for my Civic Saturday is actually 3 gatherings, none of which are on a Saturday. So be one the morning of June 19th, one the morning of July 4th, and one the morning of July 9th. So Juneteenth, by now, y'all should know what that is. It's a federal holiday commemorating when the last folks, I believe, somewhere in Texas, the last folks who were enslaved were freed, or told that they were freed. The war was over. July 4th, obviously, our independence, and July 9th is the anniversary of the 14th Amendment, which is when we really started to take our great purpose seriously. And some folks have even said that V1 of the United States was like, the 1770s through the 1860s. Like that was like version 1 of what it means to be a multiracial democracy, aka an apartheid. An explicit apartheid in almost every sense of the word. And V2 started after the Civil War with the 14th Amendment. This is where we said, okay, we're going to be a multiracial democracy without the apartheid. And that means a bunch of things. So what I'm envisioning is 3 gatherings that I currently calling the Great American Teach-In. So I'm gonna, because I'll be doing this here in the Bay Area, not going to use any of the religious verbiage. and have it be more in concert with the more activist verbiage of like a teach-in. Like we're going to go learn about this thing because of the Bay Area. Like a bunch of us are activists, or at least have been, regard ourselves as activists. So this Great American Teach-In is going to happen soon, and you'll be hearing about it more from me. I'm seeking partnership. I'm seeking a place. Seeking all sorts of help to get this thing to be more than just like an Eventbrite page. So if you have interest and are in the Bay Area, and like, yeah, like let's reconnect with what it means to be an American, I would love to hear from you. I'll be reaching out to a bunch of folks who've already made my short list, but that doesn't mean you can't play. So what I'm going to do right now is read you this sermon that I've been preparing over the past a few days. So it'll be short, but it will kind of give you a taste of a piece of what this experience is. Because I just had so much fun doing it, and I was like moved, like deeply moved, like dumbstruck by the sermons of my peers in the fellowship. Yeah, so here we go. So, imagine you're sitting in some beautiful, amazing space, like maybe in Oakland near Lake Merritt, or like a church that's been converted into some kind of civic action space where there's like a real feel of like power to the people. Imagine it's let's see, what is Juneteenth? What day does it fall on? Juneteenth falls on a Monday. So imagine it's Monday, Juneteenth at 9 a.m. You're gathered with a bunch of diverse people, say 40 people from all over the Bay, folks who are like curious about what it means to actually claim or protect or connect with this great purpose of our nation. Welcome and thank you for coming to the Great American Teach-In. You have given us the greatest gift, your presence. I am also elated to be here. I'm so grateful to be back here in the Bay after 4 years away in San Diego. As I've shared with some of you, my wife and I just could not picture raising kids anywhere but right here. Now, as you know, this place is special for many reasons, but love of country isn't one of them. Today, and over the next 2 gatherings, we will explore what it means to love this country. We will dive into the great purpose of our nation, allow it to work on us, confront us, maybe even enliven us and move us into action. We'll connect more deeply with each other and explore how to find our way back into love for our country. But why? Who cares? As you all know, we are in a bad way. We have gridlock in our politics, inequity in our economy, hate in our culture, disease in our bodies and minds. And unfortunately, we get the policies and the politicians that we deserve. So something has to change. We must change. We must activate something new inside of us. And that's what we're up to today. We'll explore love for country through these 3 themes. Renewal, to renew our faith in the promise and fruits of democracy. Reckoning, to do an honest accounting of the gap between our purpose and practice. And repair, to close the books on our misspent youth by bringing all accounts current. And to aid us, we'll also explore 3 critical pieces of our nation's great purpose. Today we'll begin with renewal and our nation's motto, E Pluribus Unum. E Pluribus Unum, Latin for from many one. Now it might not mean that much to you or anyone else for that matter, but underneath it is something really powerful. It holds the key to our spiritual salvation and our nation's redemption. It is, in effect, the end game of this great journey we're on together. Our founders chose E Pluribus Unum as our motto because of its spiritual power. This motto can be traced back beyond our founders to St. Augustine, Plotinus, Pythagoras, to the phrase unum fiat ex pluribus, which means we become one when we love another as much as ourselves. Now, this is the same wisdom that's in the Golden Rule, in the African notion of Ubuntu, which means I am because we are, and Martin Luther King Jr.'s inescapable network of mutuality tied in a single garment of destiny. It is at the heart of quantum entanglement and Jesus' invitation to love and become our brother's keeper. Now, as you can see, this is not just a motto. This is a spiritual challenge for each of us to remake our own lives, to remake our culture and our economy in its image. It's at the heart of deliberative democracy, liberty for all, regenerative land management, public sanitation, mutual aid, representative parliament, public housing, and other features of advanced democracies. However, these features were not the fruits of the European Enlightenment, as many believe. These were actual institutions and practices discovered right here by colonialists in the 15 and 1600s, right here on Turtle Island. From the Iroquois Confederacy, the Great Law of Peace, to the Tlaxcalan Parliament, to the debate and philosophy of the Haudenosaunee philosopher Kondiaronk, democracy is the true heritage of our land. It grew from this soil and took roots in our hearts and inspired our institutions. And now is the time to claim this heritage. We are democracy. We are one when we love each other as much as ourselves. I invite you to move into this house of democracy. Become all created equal, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and e pluribus unum. And maybe, just maybe, you might feel at home here, like you belong, like you can relax. That is my prayer for you and everyone else who calls this place home. And when you do this, this won't just be for you, or for me, or for other folks who live here. We do this for the world, to show the world what is possible when we make that love for one another real on the streets and in the market, in the workplace, in the voting booth. To sum up, democracy is our heritage. E pluribus unum is our spiritual challenge. And all created equal is our destiny. By claiming them as ours, taking them into our hearts, by working towards their fullness in our economic and political lives, this nation can be a place we truly call home. Thank you.